Hey everyone, this is Coach Mo Faul, America's kick-ass career coach. Why? Because I care about your soul, and the only way to help you get your soul enlivened up to the next level is to help you really decode your pain. You see, pain is both a positive thing for us, but it's also a negative thing for us at a very, very base level. Pain can tell us that there's something else we must do. That's not usually what happens as an adult. I am raving inspired this week by the women in my kick-ass career workshop, because they are coming alive like nobody's business. They are landing jobs like never before. And meanwhile, the rest of the world is out there kind of just dealing with things, hunkering down, trying to be safe. And in a little bit of a henny penny, the sky is falling. You know that story, that Chicken Little story? Henny penny, the sky is falling. I know it's been a rough year. I'm living as well. I also know a few things about what is really happening that is probably going to not be the first thing you think of, because how our brain normalizes pain is not helpful. It's really not helpful. And I'm going to give you a bit of a physiology lesson, so don't lose me here on this, but I really want you to understand how our brains create a story to protect us from what's going on. Our brains were developed so that we would survive. Our brains were developed under the survival of the fittest paradigm. And as we learned in the 1800s from Charles Darwin, that you have to fight to survive. And those who fight best survive, and those who don't survive. All of the species of all of the phylum and species and all of that of nature follows the same process. But here's the thing, that's the three-dimensional world. That's the physical, animalistic world. Your brain, your conscious, thinking, intellectual brain, because you're human, it rationalizes pain. If you're an animal, you're running as soon as you feel pain. As soon as you feel pain, you're running or you're fighting if you're an animal. Every now and then you'll see an animal freeze and try to hide and protect itself. Or like a chameleon, change its color so it'll blend in. Don't find me. As a human being, that's just the primitive reaction that we have. And then our formed human brain kicks in. And that brain rationalizes all of our pain. It rationalizes all that we're going through. It's okay, I've got a toxic boss and haven't had a raise in 10 years. I at least know how to sneak out and take my kids to the dentist. Or I've been here so long, I know who's all. It doesn't matter if I work long hours and have to sacrifice time with my family. I at least know where to drive to work. Like these things matter. Or I'm at least making a decent paycheck. I don't need to make any more money than this. Meant no one ever, even though they say it, no one ever really means that. It's the brain's rationalization of something that you're convinced you can't get out of. If you're in pain long enough, you're going to find a story that's going to help you rationalize and stay there. It's what we do. It's what human beings do. It's what we're so good at. We rationalize everything. It's not good. I'm telling you, it's not good. So here's the ends of the spectrum. We have a woman a year and a half ago who didn't get a raise for 10 years. She's an attorney. She knew there was something better, but she was busy raising her kids and her marriage wasn't that great. So she was kind of struggling through her marriage. When I had a clarity call with her, I said to her, it sounds like we can really help you. But you have to be willing to leave that company if we're truly going to help you. And I said to her, I don't know if you have to. We're going to work on a solution that's going to be the least problematic for you. But if that doesn't go, you have to be willing. And she said, I am. I'm willing to make the move I need to have the career that I know I can have and that I want to have. But she was fearful of stepping into her power, and she was fearful that it actually wasn't possible. Again, more rationalization. See, when we've been playing to the rules of someone else, or when we've been playing to the rules of just anyone else other than us, turn my ringer off, I had that on accidentally. If we are playing to someone else's rules, we're going to be playing small. And then we're going to actually normalize that. Well, it'll never happen anyway. So who do I think I am that I'm ever going to do that? Who do I think I am? This is enough. Your soul doesn't live that way. That's why it's so disconnected feeling. Because your soul is going, help, I want to shine brighter. I want to grow. And your pain's going, get back in there. Who do you think you are? You know better than that. As a matter of fact, you didn't even get straight A's in school. Who do you think you are to think you're going to get paid more money than that? You're not even perfect. How dare you believe that you're going to get more than that not being perfect? These are stories that I know that some people tell themselves subconsciously, usually. It's blind spots. We got a beautiful master's level woman we talked to last week. With all due respect, she wants the coaching program to be a certain way. What? Are you an expert in coaching and how careers come together? And we've helped over 700 women following our proven process. And it's personalized for everyone because everyone who comes in does it a slightly different way because of who they are and what they've got going on. But you still are using the recipe. There's not one single person who's going to be telling their expert orthopedic or cardiac surgeon, now when you go in there and cut out my ligaments, make sure you don't do it this way. And I don't want that one scalpel that everyone says hurts so much. Don't use that on me. I want you to do it this way. One of the reasons why we stay in things that we know aren't good for us is because we have a false sense that we're controlling it. And there's two paradigms we bring from childhood that usually dominate most people's survival instincts. And it's abandonment and fear. And abandonment and fear show up like control and perfection. Not kidding. That's what goes on. So if you find yourself to be a bit of a control freak, it's possible you're covering up some fears of being abandoned or left behind. And that's not uncommon. As a matter of fact, we bring all of our wounds to us in our career. And so if you're domineering or if you're shrinking off to the side to try to control at least the little area that you have, or if you haven't really been able to burst on the scene and be given more responsibility because people don't really trust you, or, you know what, it's not really going to work out if she takes over that project. There's something that is going on there. You may not know it, and you may not like the reality of it, but I'm here to say this. You've got to solve those things in order for your career to soar. If you're bringing that pain and those fears to the table at work, it's showing up. It is. It is. If you're working longer hours, if someone else is really controlling the atmosphere of your work, be they a bully boss, micromanaging boss, or maybe even the worst case scenario is a boss that totally ignores you, doesn't give you the good direction or feedback, that's like worse than a bully boss. Believe it or not, science tells us that we would rather be treated poorly than not be seen at all. And if you look at basic human psychology, it's so true. It is so true. It's coming out more and more in the scientific literature that as human beings, we must get some attention, and bad attention is better than zero. And so many people are in that trap. But here's the thing. Here's why you don't change your pain. Because it's a normalized reality and you understand it. And when you understand your reality, you don't want to change it because you have control over it. No, you don't, but you think you do. You don't have control over anything. You try to get control over things. You try to pretend you have control. You try to exert control. You try to tell your kids what to do, your spouse. You try to control what your neighbor does. You try to control everything. I know. It feels good when it seems to be working out, doesn't it? It seems to be really good when it's working out. But what's happening is that you're basically normalizing a deep-seated fear that you have of not having control. And it's a long way from that situation to how we help women in our career coaching program. But let me tell you this, when we do it in the right steps that help you get through all of that very rapidly, you're going to make strides that some people never make. You're going to make strides that some people take years to make. But you have to be ready to let go of the stories that you're holding on to pretend that you have control over things. So from time to time, we hear women say, I don't want to be in a group. No, don't like groups. Don't want to share in groups. No. I'm like, it's probably showing up in your career. Matter of fact, not probably, it is. It may actually be showing up in other places in your life. So what are you shying away from? Being wrong? Being shamed, ridiculed? These are all hurts that are deep and maybe in your blind spots. You may not even know these things. But what you're trying to do is to control your world around you because you're normalized your pain and it's the way you deal with your pain. Now, yeah, Darcy, ouch. I know people don't want to hear these things, and you'd rather me come on here and be like, yes, you can do anything you want to, just set a few goals. I'm going to tell you what, right now, we are in the most expansive, tumultuous time we have in the human existence ever on record. Human beings are being pulled forward into their soul strength. You can no longer be happy rationalizing your life. It no longer works. It doesn't work any longer for you to rationalize your pain, for you to run away from it or ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist. You can no longer pretend that you control every variable because you know that you can't. So you either have to get on board with figuring it out and getting to your soul and getting your soul to be the director of your life rather than your fears, or you're going to continue to live a life of pain and fear. And I don't know about you, but that is no good way to live. Every single woman in our workshop, every single woman I've ever coached has pains and fears. Every single one of them. But what they have in common is that they've been willing to face them and to see the other side of it because they know their way is not working. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I've got a lot of years of experience in the corporate world of how to do the strategies and the tactics, how to maneuver things, how to say the right things in interview, how to say the right things in big meetings, how to avoid the biggest pitfalls most people deal with. We do all of that coaching, but I'm going to tell you what, if inside your soul, you're not a strong, confident, knowing your worth person, there's no great strategies that you're going to be able to employ because you can't pull it off. if you don't feel awesome on the inside. So that's the very first thing that we do. And you know what? Not every person on this planet wants to feel awesome on the inside. Most people want to stay protecting their pain and being in their defenses because they're scared. And I get that. I've been scared many times in my life. I've been brought to my knees having to face certain things. I've said things or done things that have scared the heck out of me. I've leaned into my coaches and I've asked deeper questions because I knew it was going to bring me to a greater truth that was going to solve that underlying worry, anxiety, and darkness that I couldn't find in my brain. You can't find these things in your intellect. You can't answer them in your intellect. The only place you're going to answer these things is in your soul. It's the only place. From time to time, we get a woman on a clarity call that has such deep potential and equally deep pains and frustrations. Thank you, Elise. Bravo to you. Coachable. Kelly, coachable. Autumn, coachable. Another Kelly, coachable. Darcy, coachable. You ladies have been coachable because you knew that your way wasn't bringing what you wanted in your life. And you know what? I do have a magic formula. I'm going to admit that. I have a magic formula to helping women get on the other side of their pain and fears. And I also have a superpower that I'm going to admit right here and right now. I can see you at the soul level. I can see who you are at the soul level and know that you want to be seen and you want to grow and you want to shine. And I can also give you everything you need to be that version of you. And every time I go on my radio show, every time I come here on Facebook Live, on my Motivational Mondays, on my daily Mo's, or any other time, it's because I have a stirring of an inspiration of wanting to help you see the golden key that you could have. But you have to be willing for a few things to do this. You have to be willing to believe that there's more for you in life. And your soul knows that, and it's been speaking to you, but maybe you haven't been listening. Paula, coachable. Totally awesome, rockstar soul. Oh, that's nice, Tarina. Thank you. Here's the thing. You have to be willing to look at the other side of your pain. Now, you may not be able to. I get that. I get it. We all have blind spots. I have a bunch of coaches. I have blind spots all over the place. They're all each holding flashlights for me so I can see my way through my blind spots. I've been coached at the deepest levels of my soul, and I'm still going to be diving in. I know that you want more in life and in your career. I know it. I know you do. And I know that if you've been working hard at your career, if you've gone to school to get an education, to be something, to be someone, I know that you want something special in your life. And we got to clear out the way. We've got to help you understand what your pain is doing there. Because if you just focus on that, you're not going to get it fixed. You've got to focus on the solution. But your brain wants to lock in the pain because it wants to protect itself. It wants to lock in so that it can control it. Are you reading me on this, folks? Because this is so important. You normalize your pain. You create a story around that pain. You lock yourself into it. You get so committed to your pain that all you then do from that point on is try to control how you dose out your soul. how you dose out this and dose out a little bit of love here and a little bit of this. Ooh, no, that hurt. I'm not going to do that anymore. And then you stop dosing it out because it's not the way you wanted it, because you're barely getting it through. A lot of people have to have a breakthrough in order for their soul to open up. My biggest one was when I had breast cancer and had to have a double mastectomy. And you've heard that story if you've watched more than 2 of these. I say it all the time. But I also say this: you don't need breast cancer or a death or a job loss to wake you up. But you might need it because that's what most people do to stop normalizing their lives. Their lives have to stop being normal in order for them to have a crack or an opening. But you don't need that. You don't need it. But most people have to have it because they're unwilling to break with their normalizing, their rationalizing, their stories, their limiting beliefs. I call this your gremlins in the webinar. I give them a cute little name and a cute little idea. But these gremlins are controlling you. And I say this: how dare you, as a soul being on this planet, let those gremlins control you? You think you're controlling the world by being controlling and trying to be perfect and putting out good work and doing things the right way. Your story is controlling you. It is. It's not until you break from that story, that normalizing, and you get on the other side of your pain that you're really going to live. There's no way in the world that you can live a fulfilling life when you're in your normalizing of pain. It's impossible. You see, here's the second little secret I have for you. Your divine creator, your God, the universe, whatever word you want to put on that entity that's nudging you forward, your divine creator is going to keep stirring up problems for you until you decide to fix the pain and get into your soul. Because your creator wants you in your soul. Your creator wants that soul to be big, bright, and shiny. Your creator wants you to be living your gifts and living free and happy. Your creator wants that. And so the only way to help you is to bring some chaos and calamity into your life. You know, so often the first week or two that our ladies join our workshop, all of a sudden the chaos and calamity sort of heats up as if their soul had this premonition that they better get some help because shit was getting real. Now they have coaches and experts and a proven formula to help them navigate that. We have an absolute wonderfully soul right now in our workshop. We have many of them, but this one in particular who's doing videos on her progress, and she's totally motivating all the ladies in the workshop and totally showing up really, really big. She had some chaos and calamity to take care of week 1. And you know what? She was a little wobbly on it. She's like, "Ooh, I don't know what's going on here," but whoa, all of a sudden. And it is pretty common. And all of you ladies who were in the workshop who are lovely enough to say that you're here, and Christine, hello there to you. Thank you very much, Kelly, for that. Gremlins are the perfect name for them, Paula. But sometimes when we call them gremlins, maybe we think that we can't totally deal with them, right? Michelle, it's the dealio. I'm speaking to someone here. Yes, Paula, totally remember you had more than your full plate of chaos and calamity in order to move through to get on the other side of it. So that's normal. It's living life as a human being. You're going to get teed up for chaos and calamity because your creator wants to see your soul, and it's the only thing it's doing is trying to get your flipping attention. Make some changes. Open yourself up. Stop with all the controlling and normalizing and rationalizing. The defense mechanisms don't work anymore, your creator is saying. Make something bigger happen. Make something more of yourself. That's what your creator is saying, pushing you forward. And for some inspired reason, sort of my approach too. I believe in you. I see your soul. And I know that you just might need the nudge in the right direction because I see what you're capable of. I see who you are at the soul level. And I know that your soul is just begging to be seen. And how do I do that, Mo? How do I make that happen? Who am I? And what does that mean for me in the work world for me? We got all the answers for that, but you got to dive in. And be willing to open your soul and your natural gifts and your talents and who you truly are. And one of the reasons why I'm a huge advocate for the group formula that I use is because as human beings, and this is proven psychology study after psychology study, read the literature, thousands of studies. When we are witnessed in our change, it seals it in. When we are witnessed in our vulnerability, we feel safer. Although a lot of women who are living in pain say, oh, I can't talk in a group. I know you don't feel like you can, but you can. I know. And it'll be okay. Because then you'll all of a sudden not be alone in your pain. And that right away diminishes a lot of the energy of it. It diminishes a lot of the power of your pain. When you can be seen as whole, even in your pain. Because you are whole. You are. You're not broken. You might be hurting. You're not broken. You're whole. And the pieces just need to be collected and put in a little bit tighter. That's what we do. We help you truly see who you really are. And then we help you articulate it, not in the veil of pain, not in the illusion of needing to control everything. But yes, so I have a phrase, do it afraid. Who said that earlier today? Kelly. Because here's the thing, when you do it afraid, you do it with faith. And when you take action with faith, you bring it in. When you take action and you need faith for things to work out, because your intellect can't possibly figure out all the pieces. No, it can't. No, it can't. Stop trying to have that brain figure out all the pieces. How is this going to happen? How's that going to happen? How is that person possibly going to know that? You can't figure it out. You have to do it with faith. So the way we say it is do it afraid. Because afraid means, all right, I'm trusting someone here. I'm trusting some divine entity here. Bring it on. Because I've done the work on me and I'm showing up, so I'm just going to proceed. That's bringing faith in. It's like you're bringing a lightning bolt right in. Bring it right in. That's why we do that. Because you must invoke faith. You must invoke the best version of you, and you must invoke the biggest version of energy that's out there to help you and to help me and to help all of us. But you don't have access to it when you're in pain. You don't. Yes, Gloria, I agree. You get to the point where staying with the pain is worse than dealing with it. You get to that point where you basically crack open and say, I give up. My way's not working. The way we get started with this is through a complimentary clarity call, mofaul.com/live clarity. Our team speaks to hundreds of women a month, hundreds. And about 20, 30 women decide to go forth with their journey and create a spectacular life. and open their soul up to seeing how awesome they are. Oh, thank you, Paula. Group from it was helpful. I was able to see that I was not alone in the issues I was dealing with. Absolutely. We had different experiences, but yet similar issues. It was helpful to see others grow during their journey. Isn't it great to watch others grow in this journey and to know that there's something bigger and more for you as well? So you had to help me break down the intellectual process. I had no trust or belief. Yes. And then you got me just to jump and I started to figure it out. I know, Tarina, it's actually learning to live differently, because most of us are wired to live in a fake sense of control. And when we are living in a fake sense of control, we're really focusing on our scarcity and our lack. And if that's the energy that is going out from you, you will receive scarcity and lack. Those two energies don't go well with a prosperous career. I'm just saying, it's not a match. You know, it's like polka dots and plaids on the same outfit. It's not a match. Although with the right polka, no, I'm just kidding. Imperfect metaphor, imperfect metaphor. Today, there's some pain that you may be in. There's some pain or loss that you may be focusing on. Perhaps there's some scarcity or not being where you want to be that you might be focusing on. I'm going to challenge you today to dive into your soul, dive into your faith, dive into your divinity, and see if there's a different way. Go ahead. See if there's a different way. See if there's a way that you can actually get out of the way. Now, if you've been through my workshop, like many of you have the tools to do this. If you have not been in my workshop, you may not have the tools to do this. And that's perfectly understandable. Hello, Angela. How are you? It's perfectly understandable if you don't know how to do this. We've got it figured out for you. Here's the thing. In order to transform, in order to bring your soul forward, you have to be willing to let go of your pains, your control issues, and your normalizing of your fears, which is basically the stories you tell yourself. Oh, I can never do that. You know, I'll never be a manager because I don't want to work those long hours. You only work long hours if you're in the wrong company and you're making the wrong decisions. And the higher up you go, the more freedom you have. But most people tell themselves a story of just the opposite. Most people let the stories either of other people with limiting beliefs and fears or their own, or they are starting to witness, oh, well, that's what it looks like to be a VP. No, thank you. Not even if it means making $80,000 more a year. No way. I don't need that much more in my retirement account. I don't need to have an easier way paying my bills. I don't need to pay off my credit cards that badly. No. There's so many people who are living higher lives who don't have self-management and haven't brought their souls to life. So, of course, you don't want to copy that. I don't want you to copy that. I want you to do you and then raise yourself up to the next level of success. I want you to get rid of the pain, get rid of the needing to normalize it, get rid of your defense mechanisms that are clouding your beauty and your awesomeness, which also means feeling great about yourself. I want you to clear away all of that. And you want to clear away all of it too. The only reason why you're listening to me is because you want more in your life and your soul wants it too. It's the only reason why you're being brought here. It's the only reason. So dive in. Dive in. Dive in. Dive in and let yourself live life. You do not know what's on the other side of this, except that it's more glorious and better. You do not know how many more days or weeks or how many more summers you have left. What are you waiting for? What are you staying stuck for? Your soul is demanding more, and you're going to get more pain in your life if you don't answer the call. I know that. And that's the guarantee. If people say, oh, what's the guarantee of your workshop? The guarantee is this: if you don't change your life, it's going to be hurting more and more every single week, every single month, every single year. I know that now even more so with how fast the world is changing and how quickly humans are expanding and how much we will have to be living from a soul-directed place going forward. That is the call to action right now with this thing called the pandemic. I've been calling it the Great Awakening. Your soul is now being called forward. And if you don't answer that call, your divine creator is going to be stirring shit up on your way to get you to pay attention. The only way your divine creator is going to get your attention is through pain. That looks like job loss. It looks like things not working out for you. It looks like people not giving you a chance. It looks like loss of jobs. It looks like, I don't know, a bunch of things. It looks like breast cancer to some. Sometimes your pain could be someone else's pain that's causing you great pain. A loss of a loved one, perhaps a divorce, or perhaps a loss of a parent or another close family member. We've had women who've lost their spouses, and that has caused them the greatest soul pain that they've ever experienced. Time to heal, time to wake up, time to expand. It's time for you to dig in and claim your soul. No one on this planet is going to do that for you. No one. It's your turn to stop normalizing what doesn't feel good to your soul and to do something for yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, if you're like most human beings, we will help you. But you have to lean in and believe it's possible. I know it is, because I know what it's like to walk a human being through their transformation. And I know what it's like to see someone hurt and scared, and then to take their hand and say, we've got this. We will help you. We have the way. We have a formula. We know a little magic. And not only do I see souls, all of my wonderful team of coaches see souls as well. And we want nothing more than for every single woman who steps in and says, how about me? We're going to help you, and we're going to be so committed to your journey. Ladies, can I have a hell yeah? And can I have a hell yeah that you're going to commit again this week to another round of letting go of something that is pinching you off just a little bit more? If we haven't worked together, the secret formula on that is to book a career clarity call. We make it complimentary because you know what? I'd rather give you the truth and show you your soul's mirror and hand that to you, and for you to make a decision about what to do next. Only way we can do that is on a complimentary career clarity call. And you can book that at mofaul.com/live clarity. Be a rock star for yourself. Let's make your soul come alive and say, hell yeah, my soul is on fire and I am leaving my pain behind. Paula, thank you for your hell yeah. And we got some hell yeahs coming in a couple of weeks to the retreat. Ladies, your delightful boxes just left the building and they'll be at your house in a couple of days. Boom. All right, ladies, if you haven't listened to my Unity Radio show, I'm on fire over there. mofaul.com/Unity Radio, and you can listen to all of the episodes every Thursday, 12 noon Eastern. I'm on fire with another topic, and you can call in and get a little bit of coaching there. Bonnie, welcome to the kick-ass world. Welcome to your future. Hell yeah to you, neighbor. And also, you don't know when I'm going to be live on Facebook. I may be live any morning. Follow me on this Facebook page, set up your notifications so you can check it out when I go live. And Paula, I can't wait for the retreat either. Tarina as well. Gloria, I got a bunch of good ladies coming to the retreat for their next level. Super excited about it. This is going to be a great week. Let go of a little bit of pain. Let go of a little bit of your defense mechanisms. Let go of trying to control everything. Move over a little bit and surrender. Allow that soul to show up a little bit brighter and leave it to faith. Take action in faith. Have a great week. This is Coach Mo, your kick-ass. Bring your soul to work. Coach Mo, mofaul.com/live clarity. Go ahead and book your call today, and let's get your career and your life rocking and rolling. Mwah! Have a good week, everyone.